Hello, I'm Denise LaFrance. Coming up next on City Beat. March is National Women's Month, and we celebrate one woman who put Las Cruces and NMSU on the map in the entertainment business. Fire Station 7 is complete and serving the West Mesa, and CLC TV is giving you a look inside. It's that time of year for yard work. Find out how the city of Las Cruces can help your landscape looking its best. Plus, we have information you and your kids may want to know on the second annual Water Festival. That and more coming up next. Welcome to City Beat for the month of March. Women across the nation are being celebrated this month, and here in Las Cruces, we want to help you get to know one special woman a little better. CLC TV's Jennifer Martinez spent an afternoon with Mother Hubbard and has this story.
Well, one of the greatest honors, other than my husband asking me to marry him and having my two sons and my family I've got today, I guess it was in 2007 when Venues Today called, and they called to say that I had been nominated across the nation as one of the top 5 women in the music business.
Barbara Hubbard, affectionately known as Mother Hubbard to coworkers, family, and the countless numbers of students she had mentored, has no shortage of memories.
We've had a good run. Charlie was the first one I told you we got to do. We made $10,000.
Through her home, she showed us photo after photo and quilts made from t-shirts sold by the acts and artists she booked.
The fun thing about some of these t-shirts is see Las Cruces is listed on their t-shirts.
Hubbard began her days in the music business in the mid-'60s when she became NMSU's Director of Special Events, booking events at the Pan Am Center.
We started that way. Charlie Pride was our first really production, but our first rental was Ike and Tina Turner Review. And then we went in from renting the building with Neil Diamond, Olivia Newton-John, and just got on a roll.
Relationships forged over the years with musicians and comedians. They hold strong to this day.
Reba emails me right now and tells me when Shelby's gonna race and to turn on TV so I can watch him. So Bill Cosby called me a day after Pierce died. I mean, it's just part of the friendship.
She keeps close ties with the athletics department. The Pan Am has a room in her honor filled with more memories. She has tons of old music albums, but as far as her greatest accomplishments, the hours spent raising scholarships for the people she considers family, her students.
Steve Dixon designed Britney Spears' 3-ring circus. Becky just got off the road with the Rolling Stones. Rich Glasgow's been with Fish for 20 years. We've got teachers, box office managers, building managers, tour accountants. I'm just proud of them.
For City Beat, I'm Jennifer Martinez.
Thanks, Jennifer. Hubbard says her next project is to gather enough interest to bring an amphitheater/rodeo arena to Las Cruces near A Mountain. The project will allow for NMSU students to get hands-on training for entertainment-type careers in a single setting. Las Cruces firefighters have a new home away from home. Fire Station 7 officially opened at the beginning of the new year, and from firefighters to fire chief, everyone is enjoying the benefits of the newly built station. CLC TV's Dominic Aragon lets them explain.
So we just opened a brand new fire station on the West Mesa. It's our 7th fire station, and that station supports the airport and the industrial park. And it was very instrumental for us to get that station because we're trying to promote economic development and growth in both of those areas, the airport and industrial park. And it was also critical because that area of town was really not serviced very well for fire protection. So now we have a stationed fire company out there that can provide immediate response to needs in that area, and it also helped us put together a project that included a training facility which is going to improve overall training for our personnel and allow us to respond and provide a higher level of service to the entire community. In comparison to other stations, it's a little bit bigger than some of our stations. And it was built with the concept that in the common areas, there's room for expansion. So we made the kitchen, the living area, the workout area large enough to accommodate a second company up there, so that when the time comes that we need to add additional resources, we don't have to go back and try to expand the building. All we have to do is add 4 more dorms, and we're capable of housing 8 personnel as opposed to the 4 currently. We have a specialized piece of equipment. It's called an aircraft crash truck. It's very large, can be driven and flow water and foam at the same time. And that's specialized for aircraft firefighting. So they would take that, and then depending on the call type, they might also take their regular engine. It will definitely benefit the entire community in a couple of ways. The station was very instrumental in us getting a lower insurance rating. So just the fact that we have that station, it doesn't just benefit the West Mesa Industrial Park and the airport, it also helped the entire community because our insurance rating is based on our ability to provide fire protection across the entire community.
Thank you, Dominic. A public safety campus on the East Mesa is in the early planning stages. Fire Station 8 is included in those long-term plans. The state of the city is strong, according to Las Cruces Mayor Ken Miyagishima. Last month, the mayor held his State of the City address. KRWG's Sloan Patton gives us a recap in this month's Newsmakers Report.
Mayor Ken Miyagishima emphasized finance, jobs, and the future of the city in this year's State of the City address.
Las Crucens work hard, and we need to create an economy with good opportunities for everybody.
On whether the city of Las Cruces could keep its 3/8% tax increase on purchases, the mayor says it would be unconstitutional for the state legislature to take that away.
We don't believe that the legislature can go retroactive and go after our hold harmless money that we have recently put our bonds through.
When it comes to tax revenues from purchases, he was enthusiastic about the new 55-mile border commercial zone that now allows Mexico's visitors to come to Las Cruces to spend money.
Adding to the gross receipts tax, which in turn adds to the city coffers. So we look forward to them, we welcome them, and we hope they come to our city to shop and eat and have a good time.
Carrie Hamblin of the New Mexico Green Chamber of Commerce Las Cruces chapter says looking to the border for development in Las Cruces makes sense, and it's in line with that organization's views.
Looking at all of the pictures of creating a sustainable community, including transportation and access from people in the southern part of the county to the state and to Las Cruces, will bring more people into the community, more money into our economy, and also create jobs.
Here at City Hall, the mayor also talked about the Organ Mountains National Monument, something that's a little more controversial and has many in the community divided. Mayor Miyagishima mentioned law enforcement officers in particular.
We understand their concerns. We look at it from their perspective, and we understand that from a law enforcement perspective, you don't want to even give the hint of an opportunity to hide for a bad person, for a bad guy to hide. So we understand what their concerns about, but we feel confident that they will still be able to track down the bad guys and apprehend them if need be.
Sloan Patton, KRWG News.
Thanks, Sloan. The mayor says the city was able to overcome the hold harmless JRT tax setback by having solid financial management and a council that is fiscally responsible. The city of Las Cruces also decided in February not to renew its contract with Redflex Traffic Systems, the company that operates the city's red light cameras. Las Cruces had a 5-year contract with Redflex, which expires at the end of March. The company required a 30-day notice to terminate services. City Manager Robert Garza says they found no definitive data to convince us the red light camera program is successful, so they decided to discontinue the program. If you are preparing for the gardening season, you may want to try a free fertilizer that the city of Las Cruces offers. CLC TV's Jennifer Martinez shows us what it is and how you can get it.
Here on the West Mesa, thousands of pounds of human waste are baking, so your landscaping and gardening can benefit. It's part of a recycling process that uses wastewater. The city of Las Cruces processes billions of gallons of sewage per year at 2 treatment plants, 1 million gallons at the East Mesa Reclamation Plant alone. After the treatment, solids, which will eventually become compost, are taken away from the plant and reclaimed water is discharged. That brings us back here to the West Mesa, where the sun dries the compost, now called Class A compost, a soil-rich nutrient which anyone can pick up to add to their gardens.
I've heard about it for a while, but this is the first time I actually get to use it.
Christopher Hernandez visited the Jacob A. Hans treatment facility on West Amador for the first time in late February to pick up the compost so he can help his aunt green up her lawn. The city trucks it there for easier access for customers. Employees ask that you fill out a form each time you receive the compost so records can be maintained. Then other employees even assist you to help you take it away.
I think that's pretty cool that, they actually shovel it in the buckets for us and help us load it.
Users are limited to 10 of these 5-gallon pails at a time, but there is no limit on how many times you're allowed to pick some up. They just ask you return the buckets so others can benefit. Hernandez says the best part of helping his aunt with her gardening is that it doesn't cost either of them any money.
To be honest, I think it is a good idea because, for one, it saves you more money in your pocket and it helps the environment, It'll make it greener. That's what I heard. Everything is more green.
Hernandez says it's not difficult to apply and the odor is relatively low compared to other types of fertilizer. And it's a green solution, both environmentally and for his aunt's lawn.
I think my tia would be happy because our grass is pretty dead.
The compost can be picked up every weekday at the Jacob A. Hans facility or by the truckload on the West Mesa. If you have any questions about the compost, you can call Las Cruces Utilities at 528-3511. For City Beat, I'm Jennifer Martinez.
Thank you, Jennifer. The Class A compost is tested and deemed safe for use. In fact, the Jacob A. Hans wastewater treatment facility compost meets or exceeds EPA requirements for a Class A compost. Well, green grass comes at a good time for young golfers. Information on a youth golf program and more in the City Minute. Las Cruces Parks and Recreation continues its Sticks for Kids program, teaching kids grades K through 8 the fundamentals of golf. Registration takes place throughout March at Frank O'Brien Papin Community Center. To learn more, call 541-2455. Main Street Downtown hosts Charlie Daniels Band and Cassidy Pope for the 2014 Country Music Festival starting April 24th. A full schedule and ticket information is located at lccountryfest.com. CLC TV's Student Video PSA contest is open for middle and high school students. Students have a chance to win an iPod Nano by submitting a 30-second video public service announcement with the theme Be Healthy. For details, go to clctv.com and click on the Student PSA image. And Lush and Lean workshops continue through April with topics including xeric design with native plants, water-wise vegetable gardening, and plant and lawn diseases. For more on the workshop, call 528-3549. The workshop is held at the WIA building at 340 North Raymond from 6 to 8 p.m. Each year, the City of Las Cruces Water Conservation Program hosts a day-long water festival for 3rd and 4th grade school children. This year's event will take place April 17th at Young Park. Here with more information about the Water Festival is CLC TV's Udelvi Hill.
Hello. Our guest for this edition of ASTA is Leslie Kreider, Water Conservation Coordinator for Las Cruces Utilities. Leslie, thank you for joining us.
Hey, it's my pleasure.
This will be the 3rd year that the Las Cruces Utilities has put on the Water Festival. What is the theme of this year's event?
This year's theme is Water in the Desert, Sustaining Life, and everything will be around water and water conservation.
Now, the festival has grown in popularity since it first began. How did this event begin and why is it so popular?
Well, for a number of years we've had a set of workshops that we call our Lush and Lean program that are geared toward the adult community. And that's been very popular and I think is one of our very important programs. But my predecessor was aware that we also wanted to reach the younger generation. And so came up with this idea of a water festival for school children. And we found out that in the 3rd and 4th grades is when they really begin to start studying water and science-related topics. And so they chose to do a festival for that group of children.
Great. And so what kind of activities will the students be involved in?
When they come to the festival, it's set up like a market or a fair with a number of booths around the park. And the children in small groups go and attend different demonstrations and so forth. And all of the demonstrations are around 3 topics that we have this year. The first one is, where does our water come from and how is it used? The second one is, how do desert plants and animals adapt to life in a dry climate? And so what can we learn from that as people? And then what can I do every day to conserve water?
And just as a side note, starting April 1st, our outdoor water restrictions
Kick in, yes.
Yeah, and now that the weather's turning nice, more and more people are starting to work in their yards.
I just put the water on for the first time last weekend. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Now, how many people are registered for this year's event?
We have over 1,600 students registered, and of course, a number of teachers and chaperones come with them. So we're at over 1,800 right now, probably pushing 1,900.
Wow, that's terrific. And so, how are these students going to be transported to Young Park?
The Las Cruces Utilities has provided money for buses this year, so they will have a paid ride to come to the festival.
And a safe ride.
And a safe ride, too.
Okay. Yeah. Is there anything else you'd like to add about this year's festival?
Well, let's see.
You looking for volunteers? Anything
yes.
people can do to
Thank you
help?
for reminding me about that. Yes, we need quite a large group of volunteers. Probably over 60 people have helped out in years past. And we have a whole variety of things for folks to do, from setup and takedown to orienting the groups as they arrive, helping out at the different booths, a whole variety of things.
So are you looking for mostly adults or
It could
youth?
be high schoolers. We've
Okay.
talked to a couple organizations that have high schoolers that volunteer, or adults.
And then just get a hold of you, people who are interested?
Well, actually, there's a volunteer coordinator through the city. Her name's Genevieve Kirk, and I believe her phone number is 528.
Okay.
Oh, I don't have her number. 3035, I want to say. Yes, 3035.
528-3035.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, and thank you. And so once again, just give us the date, time, and the place of this year's Water Festival.
This is the Water Festival, Sustaining Life in the Desert, and it will be on April 17th from 9 to about 1:30 at Young Park.
Okay, terrific. Well, Leslie, thank you for
Good to
joining
talk
us.
to you, Udell.
Leslie Kreider, Water Conservation Coordinator with Las Cruces Utilities.
Thanks, Udell. That's all for this episode of City Beat. Remember, tune in for live City Council meetings right here Mondays at 1 p.m. Plus, all archived meetings and programs can be found on clctv.com. Plus, don't forget to like us on our Facebook page. Thanks for joining us. I'm Denise LaFrance.